Hey guys, what's up? We are live and we are at 500 subs. Oh, go ahead and throw a link up. Oh yeah, there's two guys I need to be in here. No, I'm not going to keep it red. I figured out why I don't like red. I figured it out. I love purple, and purple and red do not go good together.
Oh God.
Look at that.
Woo!
Woo! Purple and red nasty. Look how nasty that is.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo! He looks so yeah.
Enthused.
He's like, what are you doing to me? He does not look excited at all.
Well, he is purring at least.
Hey Jeff.
Hi.
Remote. I got this thing turned
Purple? What are you, Prince? Keep
Yeah.
it red.
No.
Come on,
Prince
man.
likes red too, little red Corvette.
Yeah. Okay,
All
fine.
right, night, Rob.
Oh, Rob jumped in?
He's got to go to bed.
Good night, Rob. I'm gonna send you something. I need to look something up and see what you can do for me. Talk to my machinist today. The 360 I got, he said the cylinders are fine. He can just hone them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the stock pistons back in that motor, and I'm gonna use that on a future project.
Is it a red dart?
No, it's not a red dart. It's gonna be well, I don't know what color it's gonna be because I haven't bought it yet. I'm looking for a
Okay, it's a purple dart with red interior.
oh god, that'd be hideous, wouldn't it?
That would be hideous. You know, that would be very hideous.
Oh,
There was a magazine I saw when I was a kid where somebody had bought I don't know what it was. It was a purple B body, 70s B body that had the black interior with the orange inserts
Yeah.
on a plum crazy car.
I tell you what's one of my favorite interiors is houndstooth. And when I was this has been a while, but one of the first years I helped working with the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals, there was a 71 Demon from Grand Spalding, 6-pack car, 3-speed manual, and it had black and white houndstooth interior. It was such a weird, unique combo, and it was just gorgeous.
You know what I saw, and I love the 71 satellites and Roadrunners. My buddy had a picture of one from a car show around here. It was a black 71, and it had not the light tan interior, but the dark brown.
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about? I don't know what that's called because you don't see a lot of cars with it. But I thought that looked so good. And that's like, okay, when I do build me a daily driver 71, that's what I'm going to have, a black car with the brown.
Nice.
I'm mocking stuff up. Honey,
What?
I want to try this tonight. Go on live on my phone.
Jed, your car sounds wicked, buddy.
I know.
I didn't hear it. I was too busy panhandling for subs to try to get my last fucking 13 or whatever.
I guess I should say thank you.
It's badass, man. I mean, it is. That's a
It
car where you
revs-
can just say, "Yeah, I know." It sounds bad.
Does it
revs
sound
so
different
much
than
better. The new tunnel ramp setup. We literally spent like 2 or 3 hours a day just getting wide open throttle, getting all the linkage dialed in, with all the stock cable and everything. And what's actually really cool about a Mopar Performance tunnel ramp is you can actually use like the stock throttle cable bracket.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Like a wind, it's a real pain in the ass to get that to work. But with the
Oh.
M1, it kind of just plugs right in. Then we had to make a spacer, and then getting everything dialed in as far as getting full wide open throttle. But after we got everything done and we started it up, put a little bit of fuel down the carburetors, and it almost just lit almost instantaneously.
Nice.
And then it got fuel right to the carburetors insanely fast, and then it fired up, and then it's so fucking snappy. I literally had a fucking chubby.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You've got so much cool shit, Jed.
It revs like it's got a fucking roller cam, but it don't. It's just a solid.
Well, I can tell you this. I heard that thing and I was like, oh man, that's. I was half asleep and that woke me up. I spent all day at the machine shop and then I went and checked out that charger more and crawled all over it again.
Ooh.
So way, way off on price, but I got some
Thanks everybody on the congrats.
stuff
Thanks
going
a
with
lot.
that. So.
I appreciate all you guys.
We appreciate you too, Brian. What did you want for that 72?
A deal on it would be 10 to 12, and he has no idea. Kept on throwing out the Barrett Jackson and Meekum stuff.
Oh,
And he said, I don't know, 30? I don't know. And I was like, no.
What are you doing?
So I told him why, in a nice way, what it, is worth. And I had someone with me that's like a beat body guru. It's done a lot of them. Was telling him to. So he's just thanking it over. I mean, he has no interest in it anymore. And it's a true U code 440 SE, and started going over numbers on that, and it's one of like 734. One of very few with 410 factory gears, AC, and power windows.
What is
Buckets
it,
in the console.
72, you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
72 Challenger or
Charger.
Charger?
Which one you
I
want?
think that car fully detailed, polished paint. If that's original paint and everything. I think you're talking 25.
I mean,
20.
going
I don't
here.
think he's like out of range, but I mean, you're going to spend some money getting everything right.
And it does need a lot of wiring, and it has not been ran in, let's see here, almost 30 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, still working on it.
Yeah, it'd be hard to get that gap closed on that price. It's a neat car. It's really clean, but at that price, it's just like, no.
And I know, and he was really realizing that, but he just kept on throwing out those evil 2 words of Barrett Jackson and Meekum, So,
He can keep it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it would have to. What was he saying? 30? It would have to be real nice for 30.
no, it's way out of my price range on that.
Well, I mean, it in the pictures, it looks like beautiful Survivor.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's such a Survivor that it's going to need so much.
Yes, it's going to need quite a bit.
Yeah. And then since it's such a nice Survivor, you can't really do much with it.
No, other than just getting everything, finding the parts correctly for that car to get it up and going. And, he had the original wheels and all that stuff, and everything that came off of it he's got. So it's not like it, but, it's going to need fuel system. It's going to need, carburetor rebuilt. It needs a lot of wiring. Just needs a lot, man. So.
Oh.
My buddies who collect that kind of car, we all agree
Hi, Patrick.
that Survivor quality cars like that 72 Charger, unfortunately, there is absolutely nothing you can do with it, especially if it's like low mileage, because every mile you add to it drops the price.
Yeah.
And so it's basically.
I would do hellacious burnouts with that for distance.
Yeah. I mean, it's the kind of car where if you got money thrown around and you want to buy it as an investment, you do it. But it's so pristine, it just needs to basically go to a fucking museum.
Yeah. Yeah, and it would be for me getting it up and going with the right parts, clean it up, and maybe drive it here and there.
Yeah. It'd be very seldom.
Yeah, it'd be very seldom. Very, very seldom. Patrick!
Jeff, how you doing?
Oh, there's Tall Garage, too.
Yep,
What's
there's
up, Ken?
Ken.
He's hiding underneath that hoodie again. It's like
I know.
he's.
It's his shtick.
I know.
I feel safe in this hoodie. It's like my Linus blanket, you know.
This is Brian's life. Where'd he go?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
I'm
Where's the man of the
trying to-
hour
I'm
at?
trying to
I
work on
wanted
something. Hold on.
wanted to tell him congrats.
Yeah, I say I only jumped on. I think I've spent 14 hours today putting laminate flooring down.
Ooh.
And I had several hours of either moving or putting laminate floor down yesterday. You'd think I'd be done, but I'm not.
I basically spent 12 hours finishing Jezebel. I still got
Yeah, but that's a good kind of 12 hours.
Yeah, like the past fucking 7 days have been like this.
It sounded good in that short clip.
Yeah, it always does. As long as it doesn't have the exhaust leak, which it doesn't, thank Christ.
So
Not working.
Jed, how hard is it to find one of those Anson bell housings?
Kind of hard. You'll find about 20 Lakewoods to one Anson hydroform unit.
Yeah, but I don't like Lakewoods.
I don't either. I got really lucky. Like I was looking for a scatter shield for Jezebel, and I didn't know Anson had made an actual hydroform steel unit. I thought they were all just that cast steel. And I was on eBay one night and I saw that bad boy. It was like $200. I was like, I need it. Bought it, got it here, and then I noticed it had Anson's etched in it or penciled in it, and then it had all the fucking markings around the edge. And I started doing research. That's when I got my Anson catalog from '71, and that's when that scatter shield kind of became popular for Anson. And I ended up polishing that thing to a mere shine. It was like chrome. And then I did the red candy, and then later I did the gold candy stripes. And well, as with polished anything with paint over top of it, it ain't holding up too good.
Yeah, it won't stick. So did that come with the block plate, the block saver plate then too when you bought it?
Yeah, it's all special.
Well,
But it works really good with the hydraulic throwout bearing.
I say though the block saver plate's just flat, isn't it? It's not hydroformed or anything like that, is it?
No, it's just flat. It's like
Okay.
1/4 inch thick. It's a good unit. I like that Anson shit. It's just you gotta kind of stay on the lookout for one. They're not like they're expensive or anything. Like they're collectible. They're just neat.
Anson made a lot of cool stuff that was neat.
They did.
Yeah, and then they kind of went out. All the good companies went out.
It happens.
Yeah.
Not supposed to.
Brian, the man of the hour. Congratulations
Yeah,
on 500.
I was trying to get my phone to come up in here on another screen so I could show you guys what I've been working on. But
Drag the camera.
you can't drag the camera.
Yeah,
We're
you can.
working on that. I need to find a wireless webcam is what I need, because then I would just walk around with the, be able to go anywhere.
You know what you need to do? Get a tripod for your phone, yeah, and just walk around with that, a handheld one.
So we
There you go.
just tried to get the phone to come up on like I said, on its own thing, and it wouldn't connect in here. I have shitty reception inside the store. I really don't know how my 5G internet works in here.
Well, just bring the cart closer.
Bring the car closer.
What I'm doing is I get that center console that I bought at Indy.
Yeah.
I've got that painted up, and I'm working on I got the top plate off of it. I'm working on cleaning that up, and I've got a Hurst, what is it? The Promatic shifter, the one you have to lift up to shift it to reverse.
Promatic V2 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make that fit in the console.
Nice.
And I'm going
That's
to use
also
the
guys
top
where you
plate
put in-
from the Promatic. I have that painted purple. That's what I showed with the red and purple. And then I'm actually thinking about getting some of that purple. What is it? Like vinyl, but it looks like anodized aluminum. You know what I'm talking about? Have you guys seen that?
Got me.
Okay, never mind. Then I was going to replace the wood grain on the top plate with that.
Oh.
Oh, like
I
a
love the
veneer.
carbon fiber one at Indy, but nah, it's just a sticker. They wanted way too much for it.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Don't touch that.
Touch it. Touch it.
No, she's
Touch it.
touching the internet.
Touch
You're not
the
supposed
internet.
to follow the internet. The internet is
Touch
supposed
all of
to
the
follow
internet.
you.
Well, if you want to use your phone, I was connecting you to the internet in here.
Oh, that might work, yeah. I don't know. We'll find out. I still got a shit ton of mock-up to do on this. Now, here's a question. I need to know for fucking sure, and I've got people in here that have done it. With my subframe connectors, can I have the car level on jack stands and put them in? Or is it better to have, or should I supposed to have it on the suspension and then jacked
You can
up?
have jack stands underneath the rear axle, but I'd only have the front tires supported underneath. I wouldn't have anything on the front end on jack stands.
But
I'd have the
if I
doors on
would've
them
thought that, I
too.
never would've pulled- if I would have thought about that, I never would have pulled the original
Well,
rear.
as long as the car is level and it's not being tweaked in any way. So if your floor is decently flat and your car is level, I don't see where the problem would be, because it's not like you got any significant weight hanging like on the front end or the rear end. I mean, it's a base bare shell.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My biggest thing would be when I did mine, I made sure I had a jack, so I pressed those fucking subframe connectors into the floor. So that way they weren't kind of hanging down anywhere.
Oh yeah. Well, they say that what do they say there? It's most people have to do. Did you have to do any trimming at all?
I had to put a notch for my e-brake cable, but that was really about it.
Oh, I'm not even using one of them. Race cars don't need those. But they say they say if you have problems to hammer the floor down too, if you need to.
Yeah.
As long as everything's level.
Brian, you've got those contoured ones, right? The US car tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took about 7 hours aside to get them fitted and get them welded to my brother's 70.
Well, that's all right.
I
got somebody who's I got someone who's a better welder than me gonna come in and help me with it.
Welding up underneath the car sucks dick.
Well, that's part of the reason I would have him do it too. I make him feel good by telling him I need his help because he's a better welder than me. And the fact is, I really just, oh fuck, he might be watching this shit.
Hi,
You might be doing it all on your own there, Brian.
I got burned so many times from that shit. And then, like, when I started doing it, it started like raining, like thunderstorm. So I remember laying in the car.
Well, actually, I do have to worry about that in here.
Yeah.
It rains in here.
I like working outside.
Yeah, I want to buy a rotisserie just so I can avoid a lot of the welding upside down problems.
Would make subframe connectors 10 times easier.
Yeah.
If you could keep everything level on the rotisserie and make sure everything's level on the rotisserie.
Cody's got it. Just JV weld the fuckers in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd probably take more setup time on a rotisserie, but like once you got it like dialed in, you know,
There's so much you can do then with a rotisserie. If you just got a shell.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, see, I always thought about, and I don't know if anybody's ever done this before. When I do her truck, I want it to be nice. You know, I want it to be like better than a new truck because she's going to use it every once in a while to drive to work. It's not going to be a, you know, rattly ass race car or something like that. I want it to be nice. I'm going to take my time on it. I was thinking about taking the cab off, taking the bed off, everything off, and just having a frame. Cleaning up the frame, using POR 15 on the whole thing. But with a truck, I was thinking you could almost put the engine, transmission in there.
We did that dust devil on a early Chevy truck. A friend of mine was working on. We took everything off. We didn't use POR 15. We used an Eastwood chassis paint that was very good, and redid the whole fuel system, brakes, suspension, rear end. Like,
did you do all that with
said,
the cab off of it?
We did everything, yeah. And then, you know, we did the motor, literally everything, and then set set stuff down, and why we had the cab off and all that. That's when we painted it, did underneath, and
It
put
just seems
everything
like that would
back
make
on.
everything so easy.
If
You
you
know,
have the right equipment to
getting
do
shit
it,
from everywhere.
If it was me, I'd sandblast it and then lay down some epoxy and then just get like a nice single stage car paint and just hit it. You don't need anything really special.
we did the sandblasting, and we just roll it outside and do it, you know. And I mean, it really, that was the way to do it. It was a lot of time. I mean, you gotta have the space too, because if you think about it, you're pulling a cab off. You're
You
basically
have
making two trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the 415 as long as it's. The thing with 415 is once it's on there, it's fucking rock hard.
Right.
And you can't paint over it. And I know I made that mistake on Jezebel's tail panel, is I had originally 415 it, and then I went to go spray satin black over it, and that satin black peeled right off.
Yeah.
Because that shit dries, it is a hard surface, and it don't give. And
That's why we went with the chassis paint.
Have you
It's
seen
still hard.
That's why I would do it.
Have you seen the ads for that shit though?
It
Where
fully
they 415 a piece of sheet metal and let it dry and then bend it, and they can actually snap the sheet metal.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually 415 the whole underside of Jezebel's hood. And if that shit gets on a screw or a fastener, you ain't getting that fastener back out. It glues it in. But I mean, like Jezebel, I painted that hood roughly about the time I took everything out of the car. And as long as you don't have the 415 in direct sunlight with UV rays, it'll stay. Like if you do the gloss black, it'll stay gloss black forever.
Yeah.
Like you can look at Jezebel's underneath her hood, and it's rusty, pitted, shitty metal, and it looks like a mirror almost.
Well, that's the thing about 415, right? Like you don't really need to use it if you can't clean the surface really well. If you can sandblast it, like your way to go is if you lay down.
My whole thing is she's put up with me for this race car, and we're sacrificing stuff for this car and for this stuff. I want to do something big for her, you know. And plus, you know, it's good content for the channel and stuff. And she's just as much of the channel as I am. It's our channel. It's not just my channel. Like most of the comments and shit, that ain't me. That's her. Just so you guys know. I'm outing myself right now. Most of the comments are her, because she reads all the comments. She does all the stuff. I put stuff in the Jegs basket, and she orders it when we have the money. I don't fuck with anything.
Well, O'Brien, I jumped on here real quick to congratulate you on the 500.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff, you know that thing we talked about with Travis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to him about it today.
Okay.
As soon as he gets his work schedule fixed, we're gonna work all that out and try to do like 3 different videos on 3 different channels of that whole.
That'll work.
It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be funny as shit.
Man, it was a nice day, and we were gonna go out and play around with some stuff, and do some videos. But man, our roads still look like a salt flat.
Well, you seen my video today. It was a great day.
Yeah.
You guys want to see what I picked up at the swap meet?
No.
Really has nothing to do with the car.
We
I
got
hope it doesn't
so much
fall out
rain
trying to show
yesterday.
you.
Oh wait, you bought something else?
Oh, toys.
Minatoyo, $10. Guys
Good
sold
deal.
this to me for $10.
I can't see it.
You can't see it?
Fuck is it?
It's a
Well, open
Death
it up big.
It is big. I don't want this
Well-
shit to fall out.
No, go full screen is what I'm saying.
Oh. Here, maybe if I go this way. It's a depth micrometer.
Oh fuck! I need one of those.
Yeah. $10.
Mine's got one, just borrow it.
Yeah, it's cheaper to borrow stuff than it is to buy it.
Not for $10.
I'm gonna get me dial bore gauge set and all that shit.
I just picked all that up, Jed.
And then where's the other thing?
It's the dial bore itself isn't really all that expensive. It's getting the big enough micrometers and all that are accurate. That's where it gets expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was a company that sold like a whole engine building toolkit that had all that stuff in it, but it was like $1,500 for
It's
the whole
yeah.
set. It's ridiculous.
You buy one piece at a time.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying they had the whole set. It was like $1,500.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna go full stare it, but I'm gonna get quality shit.
Yeah.
Stereo's the best. Got me a
Yeah.
little baby fuel cell
Oh,
for my run
yeah.
stand. I'm gonna mount this on my run stand.
Nice.
You know, gallon of gas. I think it looks like about a gallon, doesn't it?
I mean, you could probably use that as a surge tank, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
For
and
nitrous.
Brian, I give you a little hint. You can hook you up an extra electric fuel pump to it, and run your C16 and spray that with your nitrous. Just
Yeah.
FYI.
I was thinking about that too. I've got a couple Holly Blue pumps laying around.
Yeah, that's what I usually do with mine. I don't use the same fuel system my engine's using. I have a separate one just for the nitrous.
It depends on really time now. Now it's just time. I gotta get the damn fucking car done.
Well, I told you all I ordered the wiring harness for Copperhead last night. I got one of those painless 21 universal 21 circuit.
I hope you have good luck with it.
I enjoy wiring. I'm weird.
I don't mind wiring, but painless to me is the most painful experience in the universe.
Really, because I've bought a couple of their fuse boxes and stuff, but I've never bought one of their kits yet. So
When I worked part-time with my buddy Dan at the body shop, we were doing a lot of Charger builds, 68, 69, and 70s.
mhm.
And one of those cars came with a painless kit, and it also came with the original harness. And I remember Dan sitting there fucking with that painless harness, and just out of nowhere, I saw this wiring harness fly across the shop. And he said, "Get me that fucking stock harness." And he was just furious. And
Wow.
we threw that painless kit in with another car he sold just as a parts car, basically, because it was just a pile of shit for at least that Charger. It was just overly complicated.
They're all made in China, man.
I was just gonna get the kit from Jegs because it's like a hell of a lot cheaper than the painless kit, and all the wires are marked with what they are. So as long as the wires are long enough, I should be all right. You know.
I just use
I'm
stock.
not gonna do it anyway. My dad does the wiring. He enjoys doing that shit.
Like Jezebel, it's a factory original 70 harness. And
Brian, I gotta hop off for a few. Congratulations,
All right,
buddy.
yeah,
I'll be back. I'll be back.
We're not gonna go.
Well, Jeff, I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna go to bed. But I said, I just really want to jump on here and congratulate you on your 500.
Yeah. Now that's one less thing I got to worry about.
I'll be back, Brian.
Now I'm like fourth in line, so fourth or fifth. I kind of lost count, but I'll get there.
I work so much it's hard to make videos. You know, people
Yeah.
gotta understand it. You got to work to get the car done. You know.
Right.
You'll get it. It's not like you're not gonna get it.
Oh, I know. I'm what 33 away right now. Right? No, 23 away. 23 away.
Yeah, 477 last I saw.
Right, and I've been just kind of stuck there the last couple of days, so I don't know.
Now,
Made a few videos this weekend, so
I thought about something, Travis, and I talked to you on the phone about it. I'm going to tell everybody who's trying to get a channel together about it. My subs jumped up by like almost 12 last night. You know, we were showing it in my thing last night, and Travis had said something about if someone subs to you and does not comment or like a video, YouTube is putting it in hold. Well, the thing is, because I was like, how did I jump up 10 subs last night? The people who are on here should already be subbed to me. I don't get a whole lot of subs when I do the lives. You know, when I go on someone else's, I do because people who aren't subbed to me are there. But usually everybody who's subbed to me is here. What it was those people subbed to me and they put something up in chat and it counted all of them. I mean, we zoomed up last night.
Yeah.
And if the people who were subbed to me hadn't liked or put a comment in any of my videos, but they commented in my chat, and YouTube just clicked off like 10 or 11 of them last night.
That's awesome.
So I think that has something to do with it. That's part of why you'll see your sub count go up and then you'll see it go down. So we need to actually get the word out to people who are subbing for people. If you haven't gone to their channel and actually, while you're there subbing for somebody, just click on a video and give it a thumbs up. We're hoping that if you sub to us, you're actually watching our stuff. But the thumbs up and the comments mean a lot. Thanks, Mopar Al.
All right, guys, I got to get to bed. I'll holler at y'all later.
Have a good one,
Hey,
Travis.
Travis, have a good evening.
Later, guys.
Brian, I'm going to jump off here too. I'm tired.
All right.
You take her easy. Congratulations.
I'm not going real long tonight. I wasn't expecting a whole lot of people to come in. It's Sunday. Everybody's got work tomorrow. I know I got to get up at the crack of noon tomorrow. So
Crack of noon.
Crack of noon. I think the alarm goes off at 6:45 in the morning.
I remember those days when I worked first shift. Hated it.
Hey, at least I'm off tomorrow, because otherwise mine'd be going off at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah. She starts work at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
4 a.m. to noon.
See everybody. Have a good evening and have a good start to the week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Later.
Brian?
And there were 3.
Yeah.
Ken, there's something I want to run by you.
Let's hear it, bud.
And I want to know if anybody would get it.
Besides him.
Besides you, maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know how the name of my channel is Dust Devil?
Mm-hmm.
I want to put out a sticker with Ria's Grimmery on it. Do you know who that is? High School DXD.
Oh yeah.
What was that name again?
Man.
Ria's Grimmery.
See, I don't watch.
It's an anime called High School DXD. It's actually really good, but it's also got a lot of boobs. It is my absolute favorite anime.
Yeah.
Now all these people in chat are like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh, that's funny. I always get a kick out of it when we start talking about something like that. Everybody's just like,
You guys got me.
No, that's right. But that's like also you're in a room with a bunch of weeps and you start talking about car shit.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
Like,
the literal same thing. Yeah.
My uncle had that's when you hear a lot of that. My uncle had a Nova that would hop a 6-pack of tall boys.
Oh, yep. Yep. Jump a Coke can. Oh, I think I hit 180 subs today. I'm doing pretty good, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, you'll get there. You're putting out good stuff.
I just put out whatever I can think of. So
Yeah, as long as it's car related, and See, I got into that at the very beginning. I was like, I got to make videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I put out some shit that was just fluff filler. I got to put out a video this week, and it was fucking my dog eating a taco or something like that. So, but I went back and looking like people don't want to see that shit. And I took all those videos down and just straight to the car stuff. It's like I'm probably not going to put up a video this week because my head wasn't in it. My mind was somewhere else, and I didn't make one.
Yeah, I'm like starting to catch my stride.
Next week,
so
I got to put out a couple videos.
Well, if you want a video, I can give you one of mine because I've got like fucking 12.
Yeah, yeah. I'll take one of yours. Give me your sub count too for those. And yeah,
you can have mine. I don't care.
Yeah. Now the goal is to hit 1,000 before the thing.
Yeah, you probably will. Like,
you do it, I
don't see why you wouldn't. Chat
Even
is
though
super
James
surprised you're an
Taylor-
anime guy.
I don't know.
I'm not surprised because I already knew it. Weird.
Oh man.
A lot of people would have never guessed that. Chris. Oh, I didn't see you in the chat, Chris.
He said he was walking through the airport.
Oh. I need to talk to him too, because I got prices on fenders for his new car that we can't talk about.
Oh, sure.
I know guy's got all kinds of parts for his car that we can't talk about.
Don't mind me. I'm just watching my own video clips here.
You just can't stand not looking at yourself, can you? You are. You're celebrity. Yeah. Daniel's
No,
right.
I hate looking at this fucking front-facing camera stuff. I'm watching Jezebel. I was kind of depressed when it didn't shoot a whole bunch of crap out of the zoomies after a year of sitting.
Like that.
Wow,
mouse
I didn't know
that-
it set that long. Jeez.
Yeah, it's been down for about a year and a half.
You know what would have been funny, Jed? That mouse that you guys were hunting down in your dad's van, if he would have come flying out of the zoomies.
Oh, we caught it in the trap actually.
Oh, okay. You guys finally caught that?
Yeah, it's sitting. It's between the garage and the steel shed in the trap. I just threw it over there.
You just walk
I
back
didn't know what else to
on
do
it
with
every
it.
once in a while, don't you? Ate all the wiring. Yeah, before we went live, while I was on Tony begging for subs, yeah, I begged for my last 13 subs.
Oh, Wilbur got it for you. You didn't even do it.
She was up underneath, inside the engine compartment, sanding on the car. So she got dirty today.
Hemi Hog.
She got red dust on her instead of me.
But you don't
I am
really
planning on
surprise
going to No Name Nationals. I am not accepting call-outs. I'm going there to hang out, and Jezebel will be with me unless she breaks again.
Unless she breaks again. But, you know, by that time, you'll have a backup, too.
Maybe.
A backup that's just, I would, in my eyes, your backup is just as cool as Jezebel. I think that Duster is just as cool as Jezebel now.
Yeah.
After you put that high dollar exotic motor in it that you built.
When it's going to be basically the miniature Jezebel. I might just fucking say screw painting it green and just paint it B5 blue. And
that would be
Jezebel
funny
on
as
the floor.
hell.
Change the interior to a black diamond stitch and literally build a fucking A-body version of Jezebel.
That would be funny.
Would be.
I told you to name that car Dust Devil.
Holy
Jezebel,
crap, you can see that in the video. Every time I just barely blip the throttle, it fucking lifts the front of the car up. And that's with those new motor mounts. It's not solid mounted anymore. Wow.
What, it torques the whole thing up?
Yeah, it torques the whole front end up.
When is that video, the full video coming out? Because what you put out was a short, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I got to see how long it is. I don't want to split it up into two parts, but I guess
Hey,
if it's
that's
like
a major video. You could have a 45-minute video on that one. That's a major thing, you know.
Well, yeah, it's going to be the whole process of engine in and hooking everything up until run. So if it's 30 minutes, I'll probably put it out as one deal, but I really don't want to go crazy long on it.
Oh, I would. I bet people would watch it to the end because they love you in that car.
I tried talking Dad into filming more because I was gonna be like, I thought it would be hilarious where right before we crank the car, if it like disconnected the coil wire after we had it running, and just have it crank, and then it's like, well, I guess fuck it, I guess it's not gonna run, and then start playing the outro, and then just like, whoa, fuck that, and then just blaze right into the thing starting out.
Oh, fake a teaser like you did with Dad's van?
Yeah. But Dad said no. He said, I'm not filming anymore.
Aw.
it was enough for him to be able to. Dad filmed the YouTube short for me, and that was like enough for him filming. Old
No,
caravan.
what's funny is like the old trick where somebody takes a wrench and taps on the bumper. If somebody would have done that to you.
That was a dick move.
Yeah.
Bring yard dart. Yard dart will be under the knife about that time, probably. I'm going to be pulling the 273 apart of the dart probably around then. I wanted to see me revving the car. I can't hear anything, but I can watch the whole car torque.
Oh, man.
I can't even hear the car, but I'm watching it on my other screen. And literally, as the engine's idling, it's shaking the car.
I can't wait to see that thing go down the track.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I guess you're not gonna have it out at Mocan for sure.
No, it won't be. Nothing will be broken properly to race it. I could
You'll have
probably
to
bring
go
it to
check
show
the
it, but
secret location
probably
now.
a drag strip, so I'll want to race it, and I'm not going to risk damaging it.
Yeah, once you get it broke in, though, you're gonna have to go do some test hits with it. You just gonna have to do it at a secret location now because you're so popular. Everybody will want to show up.
I still want to do my reveal video. Like, I want to drive it out to the farm because there's Grandpa's old workshop, and there's still just enough stuff hanging on the walls from when Grandpa was alive and in the shop where we can park Jezebel in there and make it look like she's been in there forever. With the old
and then pull it out.
Yeah. Fire it up and it'll be covered with fucking dust. Just buy a bunch of like dust off of Amazon or something. Cover the car, fill the zoomies full of dust, and when it fires up, of course, it'll probably also knock all the dust out of the ceiling.
Do like Derek's last video and film the black and white thing first. And do you guys see that video?
I don't watch Derek.
He pops up on my stuff and I get bored and I click on it. And no, I'm not building a fuel injected small block.
Only if it was hillborn.
Well, no, that's not even going to be fuel injected small block. That's just going to be small block. No, I'm not. I'm not a fuel injection guy. Too many wires.
Wires scary. Yeah.
Fuel injection and turbos are definitely not. I'm a naturally aspirated guy.
Well, I'm going to be a nitrous guy for a little while, but I want to be a roots blower guy is what I really want to be because they're cool as shit.
Nitrous and roots blowers I can get behind. I'm not much of a nitrous guy because I just don't like the chance you take with that shit. But I like it more.
You need to fix it and work on it more.
I kind of wish we would have set up Jezebel's engine for maybe a 200 shot of nitrous. Because it's got high-end fucking pistons in it. But then we'd be talking about almost 900 horsepower with a 200 shot of nitrous.
That's
What's wrong? What's wrong with that? That sounds like a good time. Like
that sounds like a very expensive 4-speed going.
That just means you can get a very expensive 6-speed to replace it.
I don't know. That car's got to be all period correct.
Ah, well.
The only thing that's not correct is the carburetors because they're definitely too new. They're not good old-fashioned gold hollies, but
they look cool.
Fuck yeah, they do.
Did you see now? Did you see Andy Wood's video
with the Dominators?
Yeah.
Roseman actually told me about it, and so did I think Tall John. Yeah, those are old individual runner tunnel ram Dominators.
You know what they're off of, don't you?
No, I didn't watch the video. I just know I could tell by looking at them because they got the tall boosters and they're going to be a 1-to-1 linkage.
I'm pretty sure I get these old cars mixed up in my mind. I'm old. My mind names shit, but I'm pretty sure those carburetors are off the Motown Missile.
Oh, I know well, which one? The Cuda channel.
No, watch the video.
Because if it's off the Cuda, I know the guy who owns the Cuda. It's Mark Williamson. That car's fully restored now. He finally got the super tricks back from getting them gold anodized. Or the slots. I think it's got slots on it. Oh, John at Cope Racing Transmissions in here, Brian.
Whoa!
Yeah, he's a viewer of mine. He's super cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I watched his video.
YouTube channel.
I was going to buy some of his stuff.
He's got really nice stuff, which I still
Yeah,
need to
nice
call
stuff, yeah.
and get stuff for the Dart or for the Duster because it's got a lame automatic in it. I'm a 4-speed guy.
I'm on
Yeah,
that 4-speed stuff.
everything I have damn near has a manual in it.
It's just fun. Even if
Yeah,
your car's
exactly.
slow, a manual makes it fun.
Exactly. Even slow cars are fun with a manual.
God, that is just the coolest fucking like half a second of video right there.
Quit teasing us. Just put the video out.
Well, I mean, I could share the screen. Wouldn't be nothing to share the fucking screen.
Yeah, share the screen then.
I can do that.
Put a teaser out for your video.
Share screen. That one. This will be just for you, Brian, and everybody else who's in here.
Damn, there's almost 30 people in here.
So the sound is off. Maybe because, well, I guess I could mute my mic actually.
See, we can't hear it. I need to figure that out on StreamYard. Is it playing? We can't hear it.
Yeah, it's playing.
Yeah. It would probably be better if you unmuted your mic, Jed.
Oh, yeah.
And then we could hear it through your. Because remember, whenever I try to put up videos, it doesn't.
Oh. Well, this is literally like when we're going to start it. It's a very small amount that moves.
I really like those center lines on that car.
Those aren't center lines.
Well, they're center line type.
They're super tricks. Those are the real racing wheel.
They're still
Those
center line type wheels.
So when we did that last Discord chat, I think it was you, me, Rob, and Anna. I picked that wheel up with the tire with one finger.
Light.
Now they say they say you're not supposed to run those on the street, right?
Well, see, so they say all the old timers say they're super fragile, they're very thin. That wheel is just as thick as my center lines. It doesn't weigh as much. I don't know what the fuck they did to make that thing as light as it is, but it's thick. Like, it's not like it's gonna fucking take a hit like everybody says. They say those super tricks, you drop them on the ground, they get a flat spot.
I would probably hit a pothole with one though.
Well, I mean, look at how tall so that front tire is actually, oh, you can't see it now, but the front tire is like really low.
Yeah.
So if you run like a tall freaking tire, like a 28 or 29, which is what I run, there's so much tire wall there that if you're going to bottom out the wheel and bend it, well, you probably should put some freaking air in your tires.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, it's time to buy tires for Jezebel. Well, new street tires.
Yeah, I gotta buy tires for the Ranger. I got 2 Space Saver donuts in the front of it right now.
Oh God!
Just to roll it around, but it gives me the look I want because they're real skinny tires in the front, like so that's what it's gonna look like.
You know what? Look up the donut spare out of what year was on Lincoln? 93.
I was just gonna say like 91 to 93. They had aluminum rim Space Savers.
Yeah, and they actually look pretty cool.
They do. They look super cool, and they make a skinny that fits on them but I've been looking all over and I haven't found any yet because that's what I want to put on the front. It's 2 of them
I got
aluminum ones.
one. I got one in my garage.
Yep, I need
It'd
to
be
try
a
to find
cheap way,
some.
but it would be a cheap way to do it, though. I mean, you can go to
No,
a picking
yeah,
pool and
yeah,
get a space saver wheel for like $20, and there you go.
exactly.
Aluminum
Yep,
rim on the front.
yep. That was kind of my plan actually, and I got some mags for the back for slicks, so it's gonna be pretty.
I gotta find.
Well, thank you.
I guess I gotta find a set of what are those drag lights? Yeah,
Yeah, you got drag lights.
I gotta find a set of drag lights for the front of this.
I gotta find another pair of Super Trick center caps. I got 2, and so if you remember in that little clip, you saw a Jag center cap in that Super Trick.
Mm-hmm.
Super Tricks use like a really funky dimension there, and I had to take like 50 thousandths off of the Jag center cap on the lathe. The problem is they're cast and then they're turned. Well, they're not cast real concentric, so every time I turned one, I had a real thick spot and a real like paper thin section. So I can literally with my finger I can go up and I can see it on which side of that's actually paper thin. You can almost push clean through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so thin. So
that's called core shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I deal with a lot of that at work.
I like the Jag center cap on that wheel. It just sucks that that's an issue.
I was thinking about that for a video. I was going to ask the plant manager if I could film my machine running, just doing its thing one night.
Yeah.
Just kind of show everybody what I do, what I do for a living, because I think it's cool.
Some of my favorite clips I've ever filmed are like super slow-mo of my lathe. Like when I turn those center caps, they look so fucking cool watching the chips just fly off.
Oh, I could get video of chips flying off.
Oh, I can imagine.
A lot of chips every night. Oh, well, we're about at an hour. Like I said, I wasn't going to be on long, so.
Oh, we're having fun, Brian.
Shut this down.
Don't be lame, Brian. You're having fun. We're all having fun.
Yeah, but I got to do a little bit more work to this car, and then
we'll do some work to it. We'll just all have work on it.
I didn't go to sleep last night after the live. Well, I did. I slept for an hour before we had to leave to go to the swap meet. I got home and slept for like 2 hours, and then I came out here and started working. So I have hardly any sleep.
That's okay. You fall asleep no matter what. I've seen you. You'll be standing there having a conversation. The next thing I know, you're asleep.
I can fall asleep right here, right now.
I know you can.
Shit. Well, I'll go a little longer. Somebody else wants to jump in. Somebody wants to jump in, throw the link up.
Let's all talk about, like, Ken, what are you up to? What's next for you, man?
I don't know, man. I'm going to pick up that 68 Dart. I'm looking forward to that. I want to make it move again. It's going to be fun. I want to get some buckets and a manual column and a console for it, though, because it has like a bench in it right now, and I'm not really much on benches, so.
Ah, dude, benches are awesome.
Are they? I mean,
Are they really?
Exactly. Are they really? Like, a console, you have the shifter there, it just feels better.
Wheatley King 71. I work at I run a CNC, 5-axis CNC mill. We make explosion-proof electrical boxes for oil refineries and harsh and hazardous.
So I only caught the tail end of Jeff's story on that car he was going to look at. What was going on there? Guy wanted too much for it?
Yeah, basically. I mean, like, from the pictures I seen, like, Jeff was at my house when he got the pictures. And it's just like, dude, that thing is fucking clean, good. It's a real Mr. Norm 72 Charger. And But yeah, okay. I mean, it's like True Survivor. That's the problem. Is it's so clean that you can't really do much with it other than freaking store it and look at it and drive it occasionally. Because every time you drive it, you're going to devalue it.
Yeah, stuff like that's hard. What's the point of having a car if you can't drive it?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
you
kind
can
of the
drive
way I
it.
feel.
It's such an investment.
Oh, I saw, how's it going, Dutch? I saw a channel today that I had never seen before. Oh, what was it? Sleeper King or something. He's got like 50,000 subs. The video I watched was crazy. He got an old, I think it was a 65 Dart or 64 Dart wagon.
Ooh, those are rare.
And they're working on it. It's a 6-cylinder. And this dude's got a goat crawling all over him, and it's crawling over him, all over the car. It jumps. He's in there. He's in there working on the car, working on pulling the carburetor off, and the goat jumps up in the fucking engine bay, and he just keeps working. It's fucking crazy. You got to go watch it. It's the craziest shit you'll ever see. I'm not saying he's the guy, but yeah, he works with goats. At one point, he's leaning over the car, and the goat jumps up on his back to go around and jump and go up on top of the car. It's like, have you ever seen like the moss that grows on the side of some of these old cars? They've been sitting for a while. The goat's sitting there eating the moss off the side of the car. It's just I couldn't fucking believe it when I saw it. I was like, this dude he works with a goat.
That is probably the second strangest thing I've seen a man do with a goat.
That is the strangest thing I've ever seen a man do with a goat. I won't watch that other shit.
Yeah.
Oh, when is my Mancini order supposed to come in?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, good. I got some content next week. I can put these leaf springs back underneath this thing.
Is Mancini actually shipping your order?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be here Tuesday.
Thank God.
Hey, SRP, it's nice to put a face to the name.
Yeah, it's first time in.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, brothers. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
All right, cool.
So, Dutch, what do you do? What'd you do today?
A lot. I got I broke out the mullet, took it for like a 10-mile cruise, freaking ran like a top. And then I got our all new wheels and tires on the 43, and I got that stage to put the motor back in. So
Did you buy another F body today?
We don't need to talk about that.
Huh?
We don't need to talk about that.
You did
Yeah.
Well, when did you? Your wife should.
He did put a video out today.
What's that?
He did put a video out today.
Yeah, I called out Chris.
Yeah.
See, I don't have a whole lot of time to watch videos. I try to watch everybody's stuff, but with work and everything else, and she watches more of the videos and tells me about more of the stuff that I can actually watch.
Well, I sent you a message and I told you should do a Sunday night live, and then here you are.
Yeah, well, I didn't know I was going to hit 500. I've done Sunday nights before though. I've done long Sunday nights. Was that a couple of weeks ago? I did one before Tony, and then stopped and let Tony do his, and I did one after. I love doing the live. The lives is why I do YouTube. I love this shit.
Lives are good. But there's so many people doing videos now. Like I physically don't have time to watch everybody's stuff.
It's hard. It's hard.
There's too many. It's hard.
Hey,
I
this is my first live.
Yeah,
well, that's cool.
You've been in the chat a lot.
Yeah, I know. I see you all the time in chat. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I know. I say whatever I want.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to do the live thing. It takes a little bit of getting used to. I wonder if my first one's still up. I remember I had to take that one down because Jed was making me show inappropriate things on screen.
I didn't make you do shit.
You did too.
That stuff was already in your search history.
It was not.
Definitely was.
That stuff was in Anna's search history.
Oh, that's probably true.
I'm trying to
From
find
you.
my
Not
the
from
right
her,
lighting.
from you.
Yeah, you just gotta kind of like wing it when it comes to lighting.
Yeah, I got this big freaking fluorescent light up over me here. So
I had to actually put the light that I use to whenever I paint and stuff. It's actually sitting right over there, blinding the shit out of me right now. Because if I don't use it, my hat makes my face completely black.
Oh, I got to turn my light, my desk light, facing towards the ceiling. Otherwise, it washes me out and makes me look incredibly pale, and it still makes me look incredibly pale.
What's up, guys?
Sam, you know, this is the first time I've ever heard you talk on live. Usually your mic don't work.
Yeah, I followed it last night. I wanted to talk, but I couldn't get it to work. What's happening? Congratulations, guys, making 500.
Thanks.
We got extremely lucky. We didn't work for it, believe me. We just had lucky. One video went viral.
Yeah.
We still got a lot of work to do, though.
Are you still gonna come and swap that motorhome?
Yeah, that's the plan. Right now, I got a couple lines on a couple 6DTs I'm looking at. I'm still deciding if I'm going to run the Chrysler transmission or try to find an Allison because I really need overdrive in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it's got a Dana 70 in it, and it's got like, I think 456 or 488 because it's got 819.5s on it, and I mean it's all done by about 65. Now that diesel isn't going to like that. So.
That's what Jezebel's going to need next is a Dana 70.
Yeah, just call Strange up and be like, hey, your Strange 60 ain't good enough.
I need a Strange 70. Those things are huge. I remember a guy tore apart a motorhome we had over here, and it had one of them in it. I'm like, good Lord. Like, it's a Dana, I think, but I'm like, that's too big a Dana.
Yeah.
hey, and you guys ever hear about the Allison aircraft engines?
Yeah, I remember from the tractor pulls growing up.
Yeah, my neighbor here, he's like in the tractor pool Hall of Fame here, and like I can't remember what year he got in there, but he just lives across the hall from me, and he's got some Allisons over there. They're badass, you know, cool
Where are
shit.
you from?
I'm in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Southeast.
Ohio.
Wait,
Yeah.
you're from where?
Not that far away from me, then.
You said Ohio?
Yep, Southeast Ohio.
Ohio. Well, I'm in Ohio too, but I just don't say it like that. So I was really
Well, you know, pretty close to West Virginia, so hey.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm like north. I'm north. West.
Close to Michigan, probably.
Yeah, I am. I'm right by Michigan. I'm by Toledo.
I can tell by your accent.
You guys should call each other out and have a North versus South race. North Ohio, South Ohio race.
I judge that.
Yeah, there's a big difference between the Southern Ohio and Northern Ohio.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Usually it's just like Ohio. I'm like, well, okay, all right.
No, they're all flatlanders from where I come from.
No, hey, come mow my fucking grass, man. Come mow my grass. It ain't no flatland here. So.
Yeah, it's like
middle Ohio is where it's all flat. They got all the wind turbines set up in middle Ohio.
Yeah. Up there, you can see somebody walking away for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, Kansas is the same way. Though. People think Kansas is all just completely flat, but there's a big part of it that's you're going up and down hills. I've made the trip 100 times.
There's some big hills. We ride over there in Wellsville. We go buggy riding over there. There's definitely some steep hills over there.
Yeah.
Brian, the state that's directly south of you that houses St. Louis. How do you pronounce it?
Missouri.
It's Missouri.
Missouri.
I'm from
Yeah,
there.
I thought it was Missouri.
I am from there. That is where I was born and raised, was in Missouri, and it's Missouri.
See, just he seems his language is fine to me. I can understand him perfectly.
Yeah, there's a big difference between the Southern Ohio and Northern Ohio.
Somebody's feedback.
Somebody's got their browser open.
Me, Northern Ohio is like they're like Michigan accent.
Hey, come mow my fucking grass, man.
Dutch, you got your browser open?
Come mow my grass. It ain't no flat land here.
Yeah, it's
Dutch.
middle Ohio where it's all flat.
You, Dutch.
They got all the wind turbines.
It has to be him, right?
Yeah, because he just came in.
Yeah.
I got a hard time hearing a bunch of you.
Oh, you're on a phone, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's best just get some earbuds. Best
Yeah.
just to get some earbuds for your phone, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
It's a lot, and you need to do more. I mean, especially if you're trying to get into the No Name Nationals, getting on these lives and getting your channel out there, I think is one of the best ways to do it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Being personable, that's like the best thing.
Yeah,
I'm really happy. This is the first live I've been on. I wish my son was here because he was wanting to do this the other night, and nobody accepted us or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, when last night was crazy. I had 10 people in here and people trying to get in. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I know.
Well, Dust Devil, you yelled at me the other night for about fuel injection.
Well, I don't know anything about fuel injection. That was probably Tall John.
Yeah,
that was you.
No, wait, no, it was Tall John. Cause I think you were in here when Tall John came in that one night.
I personally think
that's fine though, man. I like to stir the shit. I like to stir the shit up there. You know, just to be. That's just how I am.
The only reason I don't now, if I was to do something like Plug Your Ears Jet, a modern Hemi, I would use the fuel injection on it. But
Yeah, I love my EFI.
Well, the only reason why I wish all the Mopar guys would kind of start going to fuel injection is so we can compete with the no prep stuff.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to tune.
Because it's all controlled by LS motors. There's nothing wrong with the LS stuff. I mean, they're awesome, but I think the Mopar guys, I think we can compete with them.
I think you're gonna see something. I think you're gonna see something come up with that.
Hey, if I had the money, to build a Gen 2 Hemi, it would be all EFI, and everybody would be mad, and it would be glorious.
Hey, all right.
I wouldn't get mad at your motor, you know. That's my thing, you know.
No, you wouldn't get mad, but you know how people are on the internet. People get
Oh,
mad.
I get mad. If you want to piss down the intake, it's yours.
The only thing that made me mad was that pristine, what was that, a 71 Duster, Jed, that I sent you the other day?
Yeah.
That somebody put a fucking 302 Ford in.
Yeah, it was awful.
I can't handle that.
Nice car. I'm like, wow, 10 grand. It's a nice car. And I'm looking 5.0. I'm like, what?
It's not even a good engine.
No, it's not even good.
Fucking LS in it.
I would feel maybe this much better if it was an LS, but it was a damn 5.0 out of a Lincoln.
Yeah, at least the LS isn't going to split down the middle.
Yeah.
Well, it was a Lincoln motor, all 130 horsepower.
It still had the stock intake on it. It was like literally.
Most of the time when I go to these new prep drag races, I'm just a spectator.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 or 3 Mopar guys there running.
Well,
And the rest of them's like all LS motors and Mustangs and 5.0s and Ford stuff. I just like to see a lot of more Mopar guys there.
Well, I tell you what would help.
The thing is with the Fox body Mustangs, it's hard to argue with that car. That's why they're all there.
It's a good platform.
That's perfect chassis.
It's a good
And
platform.
the LS fits in it better than the Ford motor.
Damn race car. It's just hard to argue with that. I mean, they're light. They got the wheelbase is perfect on them. They're meant to be a damn race car.
Right. But the thing is, they're not winning.
Well, that's because
the Mopar 5.0s are not
those cars because they're like, oh, well, this is a
the Mustangs are not winning.
Things are great, so I don't have to do nothing to it. They get lazy when they buy those cars.
Hey, is anybody looking forward to the new Dodge inline 6 motor?
No.
I am personally.
I haven't looked into it.
It's gonna be it could be really, really cool.
Well, can't explain it to me, please, because I don't know anything about it.
Is that the one where they're in putting the turbos casting into the head?
Well, I know they have 3 different models, right? So they have one that's going to be a hybrid. It's going to be electric and a turbo straight 6. So that one's kind of dumb. I don't want to do it. Yeah, that's dumb. That's dumb. Okay, but the other 2 ones they're both twin turbos, so they're all going to be turboed. They're both twin turbos, and they each have a higher base, horsepower rating in each one. So one's going to be like a higher tier, one's going to be like your base tier, right? But from what I looked into, it looks like they're borrowing a lot of good stuff from like the 2JZ and the Barra and even like the Atlas stuff that GM did for a while. Like,
Are they gonna call it a Hemi? So it drives people like Jed crazy?
I hope not. I hope not.
They should have made it a slant.
I said the same thing when I seen the first video. I'm like, why isn't this a slant? Like,
so I think of anything, Chrysler per se related, and it's inline. I'm thinking 4-liter Jeep, not that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I like that straight 6 stuff. So.
I'm not gonna say
4-liter Jeeps are good, man. Good engine.
Oh, I had one. I had a '99 XJ. I did a lot of work to it, man. You could just beat that thing to death.
Hell yeah! I had a '98 lifted 4.5-inch lift. Great engine. Great truck.
Yep. New Chrysler 6, but at least they're innovating and trying to make the best of the shit show they're handed.
Right, yeah, that's not their fault. Well, like the only reason they're doing it right is the EPA stuff, right? The Hemi they can't meet the requirements, right? It does suck the Hemi's going away, but hey, I mean they're doing something performance oriented. It's factory turbo motor,
It'll be back.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it will.
Back years ago, and it came back again. It'll be back.
What?
The thing is, there's plenty of them out there. If somebody wants to do a 3rd-gen Hemi, there's plenty of them out there.
It's going to be the next junkyard motor.
They're starting to get cheap. They're starting to get cheap.
The 5.7, 6.1, 6.4 Hemis.
Yeah, that's
These
the only
young
reason.
kids will start wrapping around telephone poles, and we'll be buying them up like left and right for cheap.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll stick with my real Hemi, thank you.
Jed's got
a 392. He got the 392. He got the real Hemi.
No, he's got a twin plug 426.
Oh, I know. Well, hey, there are those that say the 392 is the better engine.
Yeah, 392. That's good. That's good.
The 392. So here's the downsides to both of those. The Gen 2 426 was literally cobbled together and thrown together. It's a miracle it works as good as it does. The 392 was never meant to be a performance engine. It was always meant to be get this big ass boat to church and the grocery store.
The truck engine.
But it's so heavy and robust. It's not a skirted block. It's a really strong block, so it'll take a lot of abuse.
Yeah.
I wish it was skirted. That would have been so cool.
Well, and that's the other half of the argument is a lot of guys be like, well, I've
Ooh,
never seen
it's
the
not
cylinder
working. Why are we not working?
M1
Because
Hemi.
the
Well, it's
camera.
like because it doesn't have sides
Okay.
to get kicked out of.
I hope it didn't break.
No.
It's a night of technical
Oh,
difficulties,
there you
Brian. I went to go
No,
close
that's the
my
wrong one.
second tab, and my computer froze.
Close it out. Well, don't close it out, but
That camera.
yeah, here. Hold on.
Your camera was working, Brian.
He's having a moment.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that gas engines are going to have one more big hurrah is when they finally figure out how to actuate valves without a cam or push rods or anything. Like they have them, they've done it. They just don't have the R&D isn't done to make them reliable yet.
Well,
So
Mazda's got
when you can instantly have a valve at full lift instantly wherever you want it to.
So I showed Jeff. I have a 2017 Indian Scout, and it's a dual overhead cam water cooled V twin. It breaks away from all the traditions that you know as a V twin classic motorcycle has. But it's dual overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder, and that thing makes it's 69 cubic inches, makes 100 horsepower. And I was showing Jeff when he was here the other day the cylinder head on it, and it's just like that's why that bike makes the power it does.
It's wild. I mean, he has a little cutout of it, like this little part of it. Well, and it's really cool, and you can just see by the design. It's like that is awesome. Mazda makes a variable compression motor. Have you seen that?
No,
It's got it's like, like off your crankshaft, you have your rod. It's actually got like 2 rods, and under lower RPMs, due to motion, it doesn't go as high. Then the faster it goes up, it raises compression and power. Now, that would be a mechanical nightmare to ever probably build, but I think technology like that in a V motor with what you're talking, that would be kind of neat.
Well, so we got Chrysler experimenting with the A925, the dual overhead cam Hemi.
Yeah,
and the ball stud Hemi too, which
the ball stud was basically a big block Chevy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that you're right. So you want to know what's bad about the ball stud Hemi? Is so that engine was designed for like 71 model year cars, and there's really only like one complete example, just like the A925 example. There's not very many ball stud Hemis out there, and so the guy, there's that video on YouTube of it in that 67 Barracuda, that notchback piece of shit.
Tom Hoovers, right?
Yeah, I think it was John Aruza. Don't quote me.
He did the
The problem.
The motor came from Dick Landy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was when Landy had it. It was exactly as Chrysler had it. It had wrinkled black valve covers. Is how it was supposed to look in a production vehicle. And it was bone stock. Well, when whoever, it was John Aruza or someone, got it from Landy, they bored, stroked it, cammed it, did a bunch of shit to it, and it ruined the originality of that engine.
Ruined it,
and
yeah.
They shoved it in that freaking notchback Barracuda when it should have gone in, say, a 71 2 or 3 car, where it should have been like a satellite or something.
Look at
It's a damn shame what happened to that engine.
Yeah,
the Oldsmobile Hemi.
You don't molest an engine like that.
That Oldsmobile Hemi that was being worked on too for a while.
Yeah.
That thing had a lot of, if you want to call it at the time, modern marvels. With today's technology, that would have worked very, very well.
Yep.
And that thing got shit canned too.
It's a shame. Ooh, Brian's console.
So speaking of oddball stuff that never came to fruition, there are actual examples floating around on eBay and of V12 LS cylinder heads. So 6.
Yeah.
And that's pretty wild. I would really like to see something like that. But
where's those? I think they're
copying the
LS.
Allison aircraft engine.
Yeah.
Who was the guy in the 60s who did an Allison aircraft car, and it was a Malibu, 64, 65 Chevy Malibu with a lift-up body, and it was actually a street car.
Oh, God.
It was some custom car builder. It was, if you look it up, it was built, I want to say late mid to late 60s. And I mean, literally, it's an Allison car, and it looks like, I want to say, a turquoise blue fancy car, and the whole body lifted up, and there's this giant Allison sitting in there.
That'd be wild.
That had to have been loud.
Yeah. Trying to think what
Some
else was-
guy.
Allisons
Oh,
are
man.
loud, very loud.
Yeah.
10 years ago, it must have been, some guy took an S10 and put an airplane engine like in the bed to propel the thing down the road. You could hear this thing coming from at least 5 miles away. You just hear this drone getting louder and louder as it came down the road. It was wild. I think they made him take it off the road. I haven't seen it recently.
There's a guy with an old truck I saw internet somewhere, and it was a big rotary engine in an old airplane motor. It's actually pretty cool the way he built it.
That looks good, Brian.
My neighbor across the hall here, he's in the NHAPP or whatever it is, Hall of Fame pulling tractor with the Allison aircraft engine on his tractors. His name's Mike Holden. Look him up on YouTube.
SRP, I kind of enjoyed the little jabbing back and forth with Ken about Ohio, because it's kind of like Illinois. There's Chicago, and then there's Illinois.
Yeah, there's Chicago, there's everybody else.
Yeah.
They need to make that 2 separate states.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, speaking of aircraft cars, I did find out the LeBaron turbine car moved again this week. It's no longer in Cleveland.
Them turbine cars are neat.
Yes, they are. Years ago, I want to say late 90s, there was one at Monster Mopar Weekend, one of the old turbine cars.
So I just need to delete.
Yeah, that's the LeBaron turbine car and the Aspen turbine car were both together for quite a few years, but they got separated in the mid '90s, and the Aspen car is like disappeared off the face of the earth. But hopefully, it comes back someday.
That had to have sounded, that had to have just been so cool.
Well, it was a stand, so I don't know if it was that cool, but
They definitely sounded interesting.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still here. I'm just doing stuff.
Hey, old Wilbur's here. Old John, he told you congratulations.
Oh, thanks. I'm sure he understands the clock's ticking. He bought me the damn clock.
Yeah, we're sub 200 days now, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm replying to an email. Okay, I'm done being rude. Oh, that guy on eBay sent me an offer on the Super Trick center caps.
How did they not paint the brake pedal assemblies on these cars?
How do they not paint the hole underneath of the dash?
Yeah.
Jezebel's still rusty underneath the dash, and I keep thinking about, I'm going to paint that. And then I'm like, nope, car's done. Ain't worth it. I am not giving you $60 for 2 fucking junky center caps, guy. Fuck off. No way.
So, Jeff, I asked earlier, I came in here kind of late on your whole going to look at that car story. So the guy just wanted too much for it, huh? He watched all the.
Yeah, it's a one-owner car, 72 Charger SE, 440, factory 410 gears, AC power windows.
Wow.
He bought it new from Grand Spalding, and it's got the paperwork. It's very solid, very good survivor. Needs some interior work. I mean, it's obviously been sitting for a very long time inside his shop. But he kept on bringing up the Barrett Jackson Meekum stuff, and he was talking tall prices, and I was just getting real with him in a nice way. I didn't want to offend this guy. He was a super nice guy. And the story
it's hard
behind the car
not
is
to.
cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not a done like I'm walking away from it, but like I don't know. It's just what he's asking's not far off from what it's worth. Like if you were to get the whole car done, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a cool piece, man. It's a really cool piece.
You guys just admire Brian got stuff done on his Duster.
Yeah. He should just have a camera in his shop, like a panoramic view, and leave it 24/7.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
Or at least
Probably
take like
next
a
couple of weeks.
screenshot an hour, you know, so we can slowly see it progress.
That would be cool. So Ken, it's you know, I'm running a bunch of numbers on it and stuff like that. And a friend of mine, his family friend, he was a B-body guy. That's all he did for years. I mean, you're talking just tons of cars, and he's gonna go with me to talk to the guy. And I mean, he even said that, you know, hey, if that number is too high, you know, let me know why, and you know, show me something that's reasonable. And he said he'd entertain it. So what's really crazy, it's been in his family, and his son had it in part of high school, and it's like first year of college, he said, and nobody's got interest in it.
That's weird.
How many miles are on that car?
78,000.
It's not like it's like, I guess you could still drive it and enjoy it. It's not like it's, you know, like got 1,000 miles or 5,000 miles. So, I mean,
it sounds like it's one of them, you know, you go to Cars and Coffee, you go to the local car show, you know, you kind of like, you know, take it out every now and again. You'd probably
And that was
still
our whole
drive it
thought.
around.
That was our whole thought, Ken, is get it up on the road, cleaned up, Survivor, do some Cars and Coffee episodes, stuff like that, you know, whatever, beers and coffee, cigars, who gives a shit, you know, and just drive it to that, you know, but
it's amazing it's that clean with even 78,000 miles, because 100,000
so I asked him about that. I asked him, and I said, man, this thing is very, very clean. And from when he's a farmer, and he still lives on the same area that he farmed, and he said he didn't drive it in the winters. When it got driven, the little bit it got driven in the winters when his son had it. So yeah, he didn't drive it a whole lot.
Unfinished project, the proper name for Brian's Duster is Red Rocket. Thank you.
Well, I hope you get a deal worked out. It sounds like it's a real nice car, and it definitely go to some good hands if you got it.
It would, you know. I mean, that's the nice part. It's just like it's not something I would flip, you know.
Right.
It'd be kept, and you know.
By the way, Jeff, thank you for the pictures.
Yes. Oh, hey, Jed, that last one I sent you.
Yeah.
That's what I was finalizing talking about with the machine shop guy today. So it's
By the
on.
way, I did get a price on Roseman actually for you.
Was it expensive?
Well, if you knew what was done to that 392 that's sitting in there with a high helix blower and all that shit,
yeah,
it kind of makes sense in the price. Like you couldn't build his dragster for what he's asking. I think he said he'd be at like 60 to 70.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of money. I mean, it's so like it's made to just.
Oh yeah, and that's definitely out of my price range because I would probably be divorced and live in the back of your shop. So probably not going to happen.
Yeah, just go ahead with your plan.
Yeah, so I mean, the nice part of it is, you know, like I said, that my machine shop guy, that's what he did for forever, you know, and so we made an agreement.
It'd still be cooler if we could have a Chrysler engine or Dodge engine in it, but
so he's got everything, Hillborn injection, Crower. He's got all the speed stuff left over, new whatever stock, you know, forever for small block Chevys. But he cut his teeth on 392s when everyone was switching over to 426s because he could get them at a little bit lower price.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any 392s left over. I'm picking one up in April, but he still has an original injection set up for a 392.
Dude, just build it for that then.
That would be dope.
Yes.
We've talked about this before, though. Them early Hemis, dude. It's all money. Every little thing.
What's this?
Is it as bad as the? It's not as bad as a Gen 2 Hemi though, is it, Jet?
It's not as bad, but it's not a whole hell of a lot better, especially when you start talking 392.
Yeah.
Like Gen 2 block for a Gen 2 426 block, you're talking $5,000 is kind of like that's kind of where they sit. It all
Yeah.
depends on deck height, condition, bore, all that shit. But like $3,000 on a Gen 2 block is a deal. Anything less than that, there's something wrong with it. The guy doesn't know what he's got. 392 stuff. I don't.
It really it depends. It depends. It really does. Like where you're getting it, who you're getting it from.
Is it an extended bell engine?
A lot of variables.
Yeah. I mean, I know my buddy Ken Jack in Liberty, Missouri. He wouldn't let go of a 392 block for less than $2,500. And then that's just the block. I mean, everything else comes with it. I mean, you got to buy out all extra.
Wait a minute, I have to address something. JC Neepy, you said I got 500 subs and never really worked on my car a whole lot.
He's kind of right.
Exactly.
But do you know what it takes to get a car from to this? It's sanding time, body work time. Have you ever done body work and not really known what you're doing?
Yeah, but you didn't video a whole lot of it, Brian. We don't know that.
But that doesn't matter if I videoed a lot of it. You can say, okay, I got 500 and never really videoed a lot of it. But I've also had my fucking channel for a year.
But also, technically, you're making your car slower with all that Bondo.
Yeah, but I don't care about that. I'm making the car the way I want it.
Hey, it's
But,
plastic
can you come in here
filler.
and say shit like that? You know what? I may have 500, but I don't need yours.
Oh,
no.
Don't get salty.
He
Don't come
apologized.
into my house talking shit. I wouldn't walk into your house and talk shit about you. So you don't come in here and talk shit about me, or you can leave.
He's absolutely right.
Oh, be nice, man.
No, I'm not going to be nice. I put a lot of work into getting 500 subs. There's people out there that haven't put a lot of work into getting 500 subs. And for somebody to come in here and try to shit on that, fuck you.
Hey,
now,
Jed.
now we're all friends here.
Yeah.
Jed,
No, I'm not friends with him.
I got a deal on that 392. It's block, bare heads, and a crank for $1,000.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
So,
Now,
I mean,
I will-
it's a friend of mine. It's a friend of mine I've known for a long time. He's had it, and he's trying to get a Challenger done, and he didn't have much in it, and so.
I will say.
Are you gonna need any more parts for that, like rockers and shit?
Oh, I'm gonna need everything, man. I mean, it's gonna be off a little ways, but yeah, I'm gonna need literally everything.
Okay,
When
so
it comes
rockers.
time- when you're ready to buy parts, you let me know. I'll get you in touch with Jess Kessel, or even the guys at Stanky, or my buddy Tom Roseman. We'll get you all the little parts that you're gonna need.
I just figured, the price was right, helping a buddy out, and I've always wanted one, so I was like, you know what, I might as well just do it now.
That's a good deal as long as there's nothing wrong with the block.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even if I just got to set it aside for a while, it's to me, it's just like at least I got it.
Yeah.
So a couple things. If you're not going to use stock rockers, right? Missile Inc. up in like Coldwater, Michigan, I think they make like the best aftermarket rocker assemblies. They're super nice, and the 392 heads are actually not the heads you want to run. I think you want to run like the
354s.
The 354 heads. Yeah, them are the heads you actually want if you're like going for like a build. You know what I'm saying? Not just a stock.
It's not really stock. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like he said, you want the 354 heads, but like it's all out there, man. So like it's gonna be pretty gnarly when you get it put together. That's for sure.
It's down the road. I still got to get a bunch of other shit done, but at least I got the core pieces to it right now, you know?
I mean, if you got money, that missile guy, he's making his own billet heads, and he's actually like he has them so you can run water through them, and they're.
I got
That's
that
a
kind
lot
of
of work
done.
to get water through a billet head.
Yeah, but like I said, that's.
So I was gonna say, like, my buddy Ken Jack, I helped him move his business like 3 years ago, and I think I told you about this, Jeff. So to kind of put into perspective how big Ken's early Hemi horde was, that when hotheads needed parts, they called him. All the early Hemi places, when they needed parts, they called Ken in Liberty, Missouri. And when
Are
he
you
when he
talking about
called
Kenneth
to get,
Jack? What's that his name?
Kenneth Jack is his name.
Yeah, I know that guy. I bought parts off him.
Yeah, he's a local friend of mine. So
That's cool.
That is awesome.
He
He's not
drove
far
all the way up here and dropped off a crank I bought off him.
Yeah, he's he's mostly a nice guy. You kind of got to watch him, but I got parts off of him for my first 241, and that was when he still worked in his old. He was renting kind of a industrial park area, like a big shop space. And when he finally had enough of that landlord, he called around to all of his friends and customers, be like, "Hey, I'm not doing very good." He had just gotten diagnosed with another form of cancer. He's very broken. He can barely take care of himself, and he needed a lot of help to move his business. And like no one showed up, and I showed up, and it was just literally me and him, and eventually Daniel Barber showed up for a day to help us, and we had to stack cylinder heads on pallets, and we're talking like waist high, 3 or 4 pallets full. Like we lost count of 300 cylinder heads, and we're
I
loading
remember
them.
when this was going on. Yeah.
And we moved the entire business, and that was like the most back-breaking 2 or 3 days I've ever done in my life. I never did get paid by him properly, but he promised me a 325 tall deck Dodge. But he sold most of his stuff finally to a guy named Jess Kessel. And Jess got a hold of me because he knew I wanted a tall deck 325, but he wanted more than I'm willing to spend. But yeah, Kenneth Jack, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm surprised I even remembered his name.
Yeah, like he's literally like an hour and 10 minutes away from me.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like I said, I bought a 325 crank off him. So I was gonna make a low deck stroker, and he said he was gonna be up in the area, and he stopped by. We talked a little bit. I unloaded it out of his truck, and he headed off. But yeah, he was the guy. His horde, like he said, was crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He wasn't exaggerating if he told you about it.
Yeah, I seen some pictures of it. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Like just pallet rack after pallet rack, like literally heads stacked for as long as you can see.
That's awesome. That's kind of like this guy's shop with injection setups, you know, boxes of rods, pistons, the old crane fireball heads, you know, and it's just everywhere. The rest of the shop's a mess, but, you know, it's just.
Well, see, Jeff, you can also call like Kenneth Jack. I can get you his number. And as far as any kind of tech on what parts to use to build this engine and whatever fuel you're going to run through it, he'll be able to point you in the right direction.
Okay.
What crank to use and what crank to stay the fuck away from.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't see him
That'd
in
be cool.
the groups anymore.
Well, when I go up
know
to get
Dave's
it,
getting to him.
when I go up to get it, I'll message both of you guys, you know, what it is and all that.
Yeah, I haven't heard from Ken in about a year or so. So I don't know how he's doing. I don't know. I'm going to check his Facebook. We're friends. I've been wondering.
Yeah, there's another guy that's real deep into the Hemis. He took one to one of them engine master events. I think he took second with it behind what's his name with the Y block. Oh, Mermit or whatever his name is. Can't remember the name off the top of my head, but he does all roller stuff for everything, so roller lifters and cams and all that jazz.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's really deep into it too.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to get out of here.
Well, it's good meeting you,
we'll
man.
see you later.
Hey,
See ya.
see you. Hello.
You just got to exit out of it. I have no idea how to do it on a phone.
I don't know how to get out of here.
Is there a little red X at the bottom?
Oh, actually,
Oh,
here
yeah.
we'll get you out. Don't worry about it. See you later.
Hey,
Who else?
Dutch, how's those cars coming along, man?
They're going along pretty good. I think we'll wrap the Plymouth Petty car up this week if we can get the rest of the parts in okay.
Those are
But the big block wagon is stalled at the moment. We ordered new spool mounts for it, and they sent us the same side instead of one of each. So
gotta love that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but
Seems like that's a
hopefully
common
we'll get those
theme.
in. Oh yeah. That's what I ordered the other day. I ordered something. Oh, I ordered a bunch of small block water pumps because they had a sale on Rock Auto, and I got them all in the mail. And yeah, they were not Chrysler small block. They were more like Chevy Envoy. Tried describing that to somebody online, and I was like, "Yeah, this is a small block Chrysler, and this is something else. It's got a block off plate and some ports and tunnels, and yeah, that doesn't work."
It's like if you can find parts, people are getting stuff that's wrong.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Brian, can you tell you're trying to shut the fuck up?
No. Sometimes I wish I could.
I like trains, but
2X.
Train don't like you talking back.
What's that, Dutch?
Did you still have that go-kart or not?
No, well, actually, the guy that I'm getting the Hemi from's got it. I was moving in 2019, and he came down to help me. And, it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? And I'm like, oh, man, and he just offered me a good price on it. So it's up in the Rockford area. There's an old car dealership, stock full of Mopar stuff, and it's sitting up in there. So
Dutch, you ain't kidding. You can buy an aluminum water pump for $10.
Yeah, I know it's dumb. I think I bought them for $6.
It's got the small impeller though. I can't use that. I gotta have the big impeller.
Yeah, but 2X. We got 3 of those Volare station wagon, or not station wagons, but the go karts.
It was
we
pretty
have 2
neat.
coupes, and then we actually have. Yeah, you don't see them, and we actually have the wagon edition.
Nice.
Which I don't remember. Remember the show Fantasy Island?
Yeah.
With the tattoo, they made
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 38 of the wagons for that TV show, and we have one of them.
Oh, that's
Sweet.
cool.
I bought mine at the Belvedere Mopar happening. And I had just bought, and I was telling Jed about this because he had the old like purple horny style mufflers. And there was a guy who had a whole bunch of them in these NOS boxes, they were kind of beat up. And I bought them all because they were dirt cheap. And I remember it was with my dad walking out. We were loading stuff up, walking back to get more, and that go-kart was sitting there. And it was just a steal of a price. Someone had replaced the motor, had like a Raptor engine on it, and they added some bracing in it and messed with the pedals for a smaller kid, which I don't know why you'd want in there. But so I bought it, and it had I ended up getting a set of like decals off eBay, like new old stock ones, but they were trashed. So, but it was neat. Really neat piece.
Yeah, I took the one from my daughter. My daughter's 3, and my buddy, he does like tube chassis and stuff. So I brought him the body, and I said, make a chassis for this and make it so we can haul it around car shows on like Little Red Wagon style.
Yeah.
And so she's got a full tube chassis for hers. It's set up for a motor, but it doesn't have the motor yet. And then we did like NASCAR full tilt body. So like if she makes a mess, we can clean it all out and everything.
Oh,
But
nice.
Dodge Garage actually did like a a bunch of pictures over last year at Gilmore Car Museum because we bring her around to car shows, with
That is
it.
really cool.
And then when we walk around at swap meets, if I find something at the swap meet, I flip the body up and it's got a swap meet cabinet so I can throw stuff in it.
So my plan was to keep it and redo the chassis so I'm not big, I'm a small guy, but I couldn't fit the way this thing was designed and just make it, more my size, and just was moving, and it's just one of those things that went and a move. But I know where it's at. If I wanted it back, I could get it. What's that?
Yeah, they're bringing stupid prices now.
And Jed knows I'm not a big guy. I'm like 5'8", 5'9", $150.
If he turned around and he had a hat on, I thought he was my girlfriend. Actually, he's smaller than my girlfriend. When we first started dating, they were probably similar size. Now she's kind of gone.
That's what happens to him.
That's what happens when you get a desk job.
Yeah.
And then there's me, this perfect specimen of man.
Toxic masculinity. That's the next car name you should do.
Brian, you're awfully quiet over there, man. You need a hug.
I'm just letting you guys talk. This is what I do. This is the secret to doing lives. You get cool people in, and you don't even have to be cool.
One of these days, I'm gonna do a live. It's just there's so many lives going on, and then I want to schedule one sometime, and it's like, well, shit, I need to be working on my car that night or chasing kids around, and
this is easier to hop in someone.
I've always been the type of person that if someone in the room obviously knows more than you about something, you keep your mouth shut and you listen. That's how you learn.
Kind of like when we're at Roseman's
So when
house.
you guys talk about stuff, I'm listening because I'm wanting to learn what you're saying.
Kind of like when we're at Roseman's house and you just sat there and stared at us in the corner.
Yeah, you thought I was I don't know, but no, I listen to people whenever they talk.
I did feel bad for you because anytime you did have a question for Tom, he kind of shot you down. It kind of
it is good to listen because like my machine shop guy, he grew up with my dad, starting in the late 50s, but he got into professional drag racing, and he did that for a long time, then just went exhibition and ran his own shop and all that type of stuff. In fact, Dallas Brown, his dad and this guy, they ran a shop together.
No shit.
Well, yeah, and it was weird because so it was strange when I found that out. And the long story short, when this guy talks, Jed, it's like you don't go there for 30 minutes to drop something off. You're there for 3 hours because he is telling you. And we were talking today, and he's telling me all these stories, back in the day, and he's like, hey, you need to make videos of this and put it on YouTube. And I'm like, that's a really good idea. So, it might be one of those things where he does like to talk, so it can't be a 3-hour video. But if you say, hey, pick one topic, 20 minutes, let's get this thing rolling, it would be
old-timers like
cool.
to talk. Old-timers like to talk.
Oh, man, and he is just a wealth of knowledge.
You should be listening to.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just
for sure.
The stories
are always
good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. You got a guy with a home shop doing stuff for you. That's really cool.
Yeah.
If we were all so lucky.
It's not as
Mr. Wilburn.
What's happening?
What's good?
Trying to make a little progress here and there.
Cousin Eddie, how's it going?
I got
all right.
this week.
I'm gonna get that video up as soon as I can, but it's gonna be tough. I got all my video files converted, so I'll work on it some tomorrow. We'll see.
Well, I saw that your Christmas card shoot thing that you did, and I was dying laughing, man. I was just like, that is spot on.
I had to go ahead and do it because the van won't look that ridiculous come Christmas time. So
I was going to ask why you were doing it so soon because I saw that. I'm like, man, it's it's early, but maybe he likes to send out Christmas cards on 4th of July. I don't know.
Even if I live a long natural life, the odds are I will not have another B van with all the stripes peeling off of it, a spray can blue front end, and 9 eagle stickers on the hood. So I had
And a
to
flex-
capitalize on the moment. You
And
know?
the flex seal.
Yes, right. I don't think I could find that
love
again if I
the
wanted.
When I saw those freaking stickers on the hood, I was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to go.
"Oh, you got rid of them?"
Well, no, well, just sort of, one of them, but you'll see.
That van jet is full of candy and free hugs.
Oh, well, I'm not big into candy, and I'm really not a touchy-feely kind of guy. If you just said Mopar parts,
Yeah, it's full
Okay.
of Mopar parts. Free
Full of-
parts.
full of tunnel rams and good carburetors.
Free Hemis, man. Lots of Hemis in there.
Oh God,
I'm
No,
cheap.
no.
I'll go for the small starters.
I asked my aunt. I said, "Are you sure you don't want to keep the Eagles?" She said, "Yes, I'm sure." I said, "You positive?" This was her answer. Wasted no time picking up the Milwaukee.
That's great.
That's fucking fantastic.
So I'm only giving you shit about your van, John, because I ended up getting a red, nasty B2500, and a lot of its mechanicals was done, and it was given to me, and I spent like a winter and summer, made this thing beautiful, and did this crazy interior with side benches and a fold-out table and this great stereo. And I like music festivals, and it was going to be our party wagon going to music festivals. And then COVID hit, and I couldn't use it. So the guy I got it from actually thought it was cool and bought it back from me. I'll send you some pictures of it. It was neat.
So
All right, Jeff. I also know you're good with wood. In
Yeah.
multiple ways. I need you to come down here to Kansas and you need to help me do all the interior in Dad's van because I'm not a woodworker.
Okay, I can do that.
Cool. I'll see you next week.
Cool.
Yeah, next week. But yeah, I can do that, man. We'll figure that out.
And you got to get me some barrels.
I do. So all I got to do is call my brother-in-law and just give me kind of a rough size because there's different size barrels.
Big enough for a fat guy to sit in.
Okay. Well, I know I got one of those right now, but yeah, I'll get them.
We'll pay for your gas and your trip down here and shit. And that'd be pretty fucking cool.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'll
that
get you
van
hooked
of
up.
your dad's lots of potential there. Lots of potential.
Dude, that thing is so cool.
It is, yeah.
I can do the paneling inside. I can do all that shit. It's just building benches and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Not my forte.
Well, you gotta get some
It's not
new
the easiest
shag.
thing.
You know, that's step one. Fresh shag. Put that down.
You need to find the orange shag that had like the silver little pieces in it here and there.
So there's some upholstery at Walmart. Every time we go to Walmart, Dad stops in the upholstery aisle. They got like real long, like real fine fur.
Yeah.
And he just wants to line the entire van with that.
Ooh.
It'd be neat.
Isn't it white?
Yeah, it's bright white, yeah.
There is not enough penicillin in this world that will make me feel comfortable riding in a van lined completely with that.
It's the Blacklight Express.
Woo!
Yeah. Don't worry, John, you won't remember anything anyways.
I'm just itching thinking about that.
You won't remember it, but
There's a
you'll feel
van
it.
at our local junkyard. It's a late 90s or early 90s van, and somebody took that fake AstroTurf.
Oh boy.
Did the whole entire inside in it.
Oh,
Top to
I-
bottom floor.
There was a
It's
post
called
going
the
around
Golf
in our S10 groups. Someone had taken that stuff and covered a whole S10 on the outside with it. You know, I didn't hate it, to tell you the truth.
So this van I had was red and black. So we did the interior, like the door cards and all that, where it would have been like pleather or whatever, and it was like bandana paisley, red and black and white. And we did black carpeting, but it had like the old school Land Rover bench seats down the sides, and the ceiling, since it was red and black, it was like a Day of the Dead girl, all red, black, and white. And with the lighting it had, that freaking thing just glowed. and it was cool. Like we had this thing tits, man, and then all of a sudden, everything was canceled for 2020. It had a fresh 318 in transmission. It was ready to go, man.
I saw a van on Facebook one time that was done with blue shag carpet, but there was bits of red all through it. It looked like somebody murdered Cookie Monster through the inside of this van.
Bowling alley carpet.
Yeah.
I wonder.
You know what you need to do is you need to find the carpet from the movie. Oh man, what's the Jack Nicholson movie where he kills his family?
Oh, The Shining.
Oh, The
The Shining. Remember that carpet in the hallways?
Yeah.
That would be cool as shit.
Yeah, it would. I
I need
agree.
to find.
I just want to see, and it probably won't happen, but I want to see that van towing Jezebel. That would just be cool as hell to me. But I don't know if the van is going to be,
I don't know if the 360's got it in her. Jezebel's a big girl.
Well, that's all the more reason to put the other motor in it.
True. So when Jezebel's driving again, I'm driving it right down to the cat scales at the truck stop, and I'm going to weigh that bitch because Chris Birdsong just weighed his Charger, and he was texting me about it, and he's really disappointed because the thing is, he did all this work to put lightweight components everywhere he could and lighten the car as much as possible. And then he added like AC and all this other crap to it and weighs exactly like a little over what stock Charger does.
Oof.
Mm.
And he was trying to keep it lighter than stock, like 3,500 pounds or something. And he's way over. And we were talking back and forth about the weight of Jezebel. And it's like, I know the car's not going to be no 3,800 pounds. It's going to be like 4,000 or better.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see what it actually weighs because honestly, I don't give a fuck, but I want to know.
Yeah. I want to get a set of scales.
Door panels, not door cards.
See, I just go down 10 minutes from my house and just hit the grain scales. It's a 24/7 on. It's got a big old display panel.
Yeah, that's what we got. We just got the cat scale for like all the big trucks and shit. If I wanted to go to like the grain scale, that's on the other end of town. Where the farmers go.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Ranger weighs.
It's got to be pretty light, man. What's your guess? I think Ken. Oh.
Am I back? Am I here? All right.
Yeah. So what do you think your Ranger weighs?
Oh man, I don't know. I think the curb weight I read is like stock is supposed to be like 28, maybe 29, 28. So less than that, I hope. That aluminum V8 has to weigh less than that all iron 4-banger, like it has to.
When I hear aluminum V8, I get really interested. But only when they're old with Buicks.
So we'll find out. Lots of weight reduction in the terms of rust too. So
yeah.
I know my buddy's Duster when with me in it was no, it was empty. It was 3,200 pounds and it was all steel. It had a roll bar in it. Basically the same way I'm doing this one.
That's not bad.
No, and a big block with iron heads, and I'm hopefully gonna have a big block with not iron heads.
Hopefully.
So I know China is taboo, but they are like producing aluminum big block Mopower heads that you can get for like $200 for a pair.
Just get them checked out.
$200 for a pair of aluminum heads?
Yeah.
A pair.
It is not $200 for a pair.
I will double check, but I swear
they're more than $200.
I swear it was
double
cheap.
check with a VAC below 0.20 and let us know how much they are.
Last time I saw, they were 700 each.
Nah, you gotta know where to look. So you gotta go straight to the source.
Alibaba or whatever.
Alibaba, that's right. You got her, bud.
Hang on, let me show you what happens when you put those bad boys on an engine. I'm pulling up the pictures right now.
Okay,
Sorry,
no, you have to have them gone through. Like you can't just slam.
Say, yeah, you got it. You got to go through them.
The springs and the
That's the
valves
thing,
they
though.
have on them are junk, right? But they're so cheap.
Okay.
Like
Now hold on. At the
Okay,
price
I
I saw
found it.
was $700 each. So there's $1,400, and then you're gonna have them gone through, and you're gonna put new valves and springs on them. That's gonna put you up around $2,000, and you can buy a set of Indy EZ heads for a pair of them on Hughes engines for $1,800.
So
This is it. This is what he's seeing. Okay, this is on Alibaba's website. The brand name is HAR, HAR, and the price is $200 to $300 for an assembled cylinder head Mopar big block.
Yeah, if you get them unassembled and like depending on how many you order, you can get the price way down.
Now
Like,
it says assembled, but when I look at this thing, it looks like it's got valve guides in it, and that is it. That's all that's in the picture.
Well, that's all you want. Like I said, like there's this. If they come assembled, the springs
That's
and
more than I
valves
want.
need thrown away, right? So I'm just
I
saying,
don't
like,
know. For $200, is it $200 a pair or is it each?
like I'm saying, if you do a group buy and you buy like 10, you know, you can get the price
So-
even lower.
Here's the good question on that. So, what would those heads be horsepower range? Like, let's say you put a good set of valves in it, good guides, good retainers, good springs, all that stuff. You went full tilt on rockers, push rods, and everything.
Well, see, here's the thing, right? These heads are made in the same plant as, I don't know, Elderbrock. Somebody somewhere paid this company to make these heads, and then the company turns around, they use the molds, and they make their own heads. They sell them underneath, like I think it's Speed. Somebody on eBay.
Speedmaster.
Speedmaster. That's it. They buy these heads from these guys. They jack the price up triple, and they do a little bit of work to them. They sell them to you. But it's the same base head.
This is what it says in the description. You can get straighter angle plug, 11/32 valve stems. They come from Chongqing or something, China. 84cc chambers, 600 valve lift. But it's a 214 intake, 181 exhaust. So if you were going to run that with a lot of compression, now you're talking about wanting to put in a bigger intake and a smaller exhaust. That's a lot of work. So to run these heads with something with serious compression, now you're talking about doing way more work than it's worth. Now a street car, like a 9-to-1 street car, that's probably more what these would be suited to.
Well, I said you can shop around because there are different factories make different variants. So you can get ones with bigger runners, smaller runners. Like you got to shop around and look, but you can find usually what you need for pretty cheap. Like I said, if you do a big buy, you get 10 guys that want a pair. You can get the price down.
It's got 210cc intake runner and a 5/8 inch deck. Now that's not bad at all. I mean, I wonder how true it is. It would be interesting to get one of these and really measured out.
It would be interesting to get a set and do a video on them.
That would be a good video just to show the guys this is what you're getting, you know. So
But
that would definitely be a good
how
video.
long are you waiting for them though? Because usually from some of them companies, you know, like you order something from Wish, you might get that.
Right. So I order stuff off of like AliExpress and Alibaba regularly. Like that's where I'm getting the sheet metal LS intake to chop up for the 300 head. It takes about, I don't know, less than a month usually. Because, you know, it's all on the slow boat from China, right? So
it's interesting. It's interesting to see if you were to get a bear set. It'd be interesting to see.
Well, there are a couple channels that have gotten the small block Chevy ones, and I think there's one guy that got the small block Mopar ones from like one of these companies and went over them, and they were pretty happy with it. You know, that's Ben.
Yeah. So I bought a set of ProComp's copy of the Edelbrock Victors, which take the custom offset rockers. They got the offset intake port, 220 intake or 219 intake with a 181 exhaust. And those heads with max wedge support will support basically 900 to 1,000 horsepower. They're fucking badass heads. And I bought the heads used, but they had supposedly good work done to them. That's one of them. There's one of these that's bent like an S, and there's one that's snapped clean off. It's still stuck in the piston for Jezebel's old 440. When it was all said and done, I spent more money making these heads functional than it would have cost just to buy a pair of Edelbrock Victors. Not saying that Edelbrock Victors would have been better quality, but I know they wouldn't have grenaded as fast.
Hey, Jed, did whoever did that, did whoever build those heads, did he size the valve? Did he size your valve guides himself?
I don't know what he did. He may have lied about having work done to him, but all I know is I talked to my machinist about this. He said he replaced everything in those heads. Seats, guides, valves. They were all bad. Nothing was usable in those heads but the casting. He said I had valves as big as 225 and as small as 118 or 218. Like the valve head diameter was just all over the place. The guides were the same thing. Now, what he did say, now Mark does a lot of high performance engines. My engine was just a itty bitty thing on the fucking scale. And he said he will never touch a set of stealth heads by 440 source. He says those are the junkiest, shittiest fucking castings he's ever messed with as far as welding and fixing them. He said, I was really shocked with my Chinese heads how well they welded. He would do 100,000 pairs of my heads for free before he touched another set of stealth heads for the quality of aluminum casting that's in them.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, those stealth heads, they dropped the ball on those anyway. Because they should have. They just basically went off the the 916 casting, and they just made it out of aluminum.
Someone like Jeff,
would
right?
Given it a good chamber and good flow and made it look like a stock head, then they would have had something. But all they did was just you've got basically the same old heads you had before. They just weigh less.
Right.
So my buddy Marty in Pennsylvania, he has a YouTube channel, and he built a big block Oldsmobile for his Cutlass. And he bought a set of those Pro Comp Speedmaster heads for an Oldsmobile. And he had bought his complete. Right. And I told him, take him to your machine shop, have him throw all the valves, all the guides, all away and start over.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So Marty gets his heads back. Guy says everything's good, ready to go on. Marty assembles his engine, puts it together, gets it running. It runs for about 3 months. And I can't remember exactly what went wrong, but it was all based in head issue. And I can't remember I think he did drop a valve. And as it turns out, his machinist didn't replace anything because he just looked at it and said it looks good.
Oh shit. Time for a new
machinist. And probably charged him for it too.
Yeah.
The problem with a lot of machinists is that they understand how to cut metal. They understand how to fit parts. And some of them don't have a clue what happens dynamically in the engine. Yeah. So like on your valve guide thing, they'll take a sizer and run through there. And they'll run the sizer through and say, okay, it fits really good and tight now. And they can drop it on the seat, right? Thing is, though, you and I both know that thing gets a little temperature in it, they'll start sticking in the guide, galling, having problems. Sometimes machinists are known to make valve guides too tight. You're supposed to run a sizer a 0.5 or 1,000th bigger than you want, because for whatever reason, that bronze material swells back a 0.5 to 1,000th after you run the sizer.
It grows too.
Yeah, so I'm saying by the time you account for all that thermal expansion, so it's one thing to know how to machine parts. It's a whole other thing to know the dynamics of what's going on in the engine.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So these guys will say, well, my machinist said, well, Jed will understand this. That's like saying, well, my gunsmith said. Well, who cares your gunsmith? Your gunsmith engraves something and sends it back and it still doesn't shoot. And machinists do this with engines every day.
Well, there's a big difference between like a machinist and an engine builder. And that's what I like about my machine shop I use is because they're machine shop, an engine builder,
Yep.
engine assembler. That they do it all under that
Yeah,
one roof.
some are like that and can do both.
Yeah.
But not all of them are both. And some people confuse and they think all machinists are good builders, and they are not.
Right.
Well, yeah. Well, that's like I could go in and I could learn to set the machines up and learn the tolerances. You know, I'm a machinist. I could do that. But I know it takes a lot more experience than just being able. You could train anybody. I've done it. You could train anybody to run a machine.
Yeah.
And you could train anybody to check parts.
Yeah.
But there's certain things you just have to know from experience and learn.
100%.
So you guys know Ari DeBernia. He's in Uncle Tony's chats. He's a mod over there. He's building the Slant 6. It's his first engine. And he took the block and the crank to his machinist somewhere in California. The thing comes back with 1/1000th of main bearing clearance. And that's 1/1000th of main clearance. The block hasn't been line bored. And we told him, I said, that's a spun bearing waiting to happen. Tell that guy you need about 2.5 or 3. And the machinist said, oh, you want diesel clearances. I said, no, you want clearances called an engine that will live.
Yeah.
1/1000th is not enough main bearing clearance. It is
right.
not.
Yeah, that's
It's wait. It's a bearing turning purple waiting to happen.
that's tight.
But again, just because the guy knows how to read a micrometer and he knows how to cut surfaces does not mean he really knows how to build engines.
Yeah.
And I tell you where I think he got that number. I think where he got the number is that he read that the tolerance is between 1/2 and 1.5 thousandths, and that's true. But tolerance and clearance are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
If you take 1/2 to a 1.5 tolerance and you put it on top of the clearance spec, well, now you've got between 2 and 4 thousandths of oil clearance.
Yeah.
That machinist didn't know the difference between tolerance and clearance, and he sent that crank out there to spin a bearing in Ari's engine.
But yeah, I mean, every blueprint you read, anything like that has a tolerance, and it's a number that it's supposed to be. That's the perfect number. And then you've got your tolerance. You know,
Well, you have a tolerance and a clearance that are not the same thing. That's the deal. And people use those terms interchangeably, and they absolutely are not.
Yeah, because if say you're supposed to have, and I'm just pulling numbers out of the air, say 3,000 clearance.
Mm-hmm.
1 to 1.5 tolerance means you could go plus or minus 1/1000th of that 3,000
on either side. Exactly.
Right, on either side of it.
Correct. But people who use the word tolerance synonymous with clearance and don't know that, that's a guy who gives him 1/1000th of bearing clearance and sends it out the door.
Yeah.
And he's a machinist, and people think that because he runs machines for a living that he's the authority, and that guy is not. So I told Ari, you need to check everything. You need to check your valve guides. You need to check your rods, check your mains, because now we don't know. Just because it's cut nicely doesn't mean that it's going to live.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Well, guys, I gotta hop off. I gotta be up in 4 hours.
Wrong.
Hey, buddy.
See you, Dutch.
Take care.
See
you later.
I'm gonna hop too, but I'm gonna stay listening.
All right. I think we've been going for about 2 hours. I think I'm gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, it's almost 1 a.m. here, so.
Yeah, I gotta get home. Look up more parts.
All right. Catch you guys later.
All right, I'll see you guys. I'll see everybody later. Thanks for coming out.
Later, guys.
Have a good night.
See you, Brian.